Welcome to Game Related, where we highlight opportunities and obstacles from former athletes with the thought process of giving future generations a better understanding about the game.
These conversations are meant to bring awareness to the hardships and opportunities that come along with the game. Let's get game related.
All right, y'all, welcome back. We got another episode. I think this one's going to be a real good one. We got, to me, I call him a purist. You know, this guy has been training for an extremely long time. He's also a good player, and he's here to talk to us about the changes in training, his success in high school and college, and then just his overall viewpoint. And also, my man is has a music video out right now that y'all gotta check out as well, man. So he's multi-talented. Welcome Shy to the show.
Good to be here, y'all. Good to be here.
What's up with you?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I like what you're doing. It's shedding some light on the DMV, and that's always good to get some good curators and some other guys besides what's my man Glizzy, Aunt Glizzy. He's running the game right now, though. So shots to him, and just trying to pump this whole area up on the entertainment side.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. So we always ask everybody, handling success, right? Everybody, and you can speak to this because you've been developing kids since they were peewees, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep them motivated once they hit a certain landmine and all of a sudden all the likes, all of the people start telling them how good they are? How do you get them to handle success?
Well, I try to at least keep some balance. So I notice when they're getting a lot of love, I beat you down a little bit, and just continuously talk to you about the job not being done, and don't get complacent. Always be chasing the number one spot. I know we hear that a lot in the videos, and it's redundant, but it's a real thing. It's a blueprint to success, but it's a little different for each person on how you're going to make that blueprint come out. So that's why I just try to have guys understand that it's a mind game.
Okay. And what would you say about, so you got the kid, but then you got their support system,
Mm-hmm.
right? The parents or their crew or whoever, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get them to understand, or do you even deal with them? Like, how do you navigate the kid through that process?
Well, what you have to do, and I'm gonna drop a gem right here. I think you have to make failure happen for the athlete in order to really grab their attention. If you're dealing with an elite athlete or a pro athlete, because everything feels like they're superhuman. I'm used to getting the right answer. So I just think that's an important piece to jogger the mind. Yeah.
Do you do that in your training or just?
I try to do it in a couple different ways. I just try to attack it where I see it to be necessary, where I can get through to them, so I can be that voice in their head, kind of, if I need to change one of their habits.
Okay, so it's more of like picking out a weak point of within their regimen or their skill set and saying, hey, like this right here, this ain't gonna cut it. So you need to kind of work a little harder on that.
Yeah, but sometimes that works, and like your status on who you are with the kid or whatever you have socially going, where you can just talk to them like that and they get it. But a lot of times with the better players, better high school players, or even if you're just at your school, one of the best players, that is not enough. Mm-hmm. So I have to actually put you in a scenario where I'm pretty sure failure is going to happen. Mm-hmm. So you can see, okay, there's a different level that I must grab onto.
Okay.
I like
that's what I mean. And then sometimes I may have to have a conversation with you that's over your head to let you know that, okay, I know you were able to do that drill that I thought was going to be failure. Now let's talk about how you got there and to see if you're able to understand what you did. And then talk you through that, because that's what they do at the NCAA level and higher. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, man, a lot of people, you've been in the game for a long time, and you still pretty active. You can always shoot the ball,
yeah,
right?
I'm ready to shoot, guys. I know what's going on. For sure.
Right? But a lot of people don't know about your style when you played.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Talk about your high school days and what you were able to accomplish.
I was small in high school. Kind of grew late, like
11th
So,
grade year?
like maybe like in the middle of my senior year, right? So like I always could shoot the cover off the ball. That's never been an issue. I just was small. Could I dribble? Yes. But when I grew and things, my arms was really long, my feet was big, so I was kind of clumsy. But I always was a really good player, and I believed that. And it just came together. This one story, my teammate, his name was Raymond Baker. We were talking before the season, and he said, well, "How you think we're gonna do?" And I just jumped out there. I said, "We're gonna win the state championship." And he said, "Whoa, Shy, like relax." And I was naive enough to kind of say it and kind of believe it in the moment and never talk about it again. And he reminded me of that when we won the state championship. So I've had a lot of examples in my life of mind over matter, speaking things into existence, kind of, but just really going after it. That's the biggest thing that I can tell to the athletes. A lot of people are doing it for a social feel good. So that's where, to your first question, that's where it happens. You know, people's sisters and your aunts becoming like, my baby gonna do this, and you kind of start believing it. You have to have other people around you that's gonna balance you out. That's like, bro, you far away from where the goal is, and give you examples from people that, I mean, stories I can Google or send you clips of failure happening with people that thought that they were at a space. And then you have people that knew they weren't at a space and they just said, you know what, I don't care what happens, I'm going to work, and it worked. Um, but sports all build the character. That's why it's become so large, because it's the biggest characters in life. You got to work with the boss you don't like. You got to work with some teammates sometimes that you got to figure it out how we're going to feel good to get to the goal. That's what team sports is. It's a lot of variables you got to deal with. So that's life. So.
Yeah, you know what? I can relate, because when he said that, made me think about Gonzaga. I was thinking I was going to make varsity, and I wasn't there. I was not allowed to try out.
Oh wow!
So I was like, "What?"
Right.
So like, that's that failure part
There you go.
that lit a fire. Like, oh, okay. And now just it was just push through to get to that goal. Yeah. So
it stoked the fire in your gut to be like, oh, they got me messed up. This is why you should select me, coach. And every player needs that to go to the next level. Those that skip through to that level, once you get amongst those guys, their fire is greater and it just overtakes you. Like 90% of the time, I think. So
that's facts. That's facts. So the game was much different back then than it is now. Like, talk about some of the differences back when you were playing versus now.
I can speak to that. I'm just gonna speak in totality. Like, remember, nothing is new under the sun. So the game is going back to kind of how it was in the ABA when the ABA was great. That's what the NBA is now to me.
Okay.
They wild style. They shooting shots from far away. Very entertaining basketball. When we played, it was more, let's be very consistent. Let's get the ball close to the basket as we can and put it in the basket. Now, again, we back to your Pistol Peach, your Iceman, George Gervin, that era of basketball. That's what I see. I wasn't alive then, but just going back studying and look at some of the film and the scores and things like that. That's what they were doing.
I told y'all this man a purist, man. I never heard nobody break that down like that.
And that's why I sometimes I have trouble in the area where I say some things that seem to be outlandish, but I just go with what they're saying about life. Nothing's new under the sun. So then you just got to step back a little bit and look at the small things, all the players, how you really get better, the small things. That's what you get. That's what trainers should get paid for. I mean, not the obvious cross, or not the obvious things. I need to see more minute factors being worked on, either here or on court. Sometimes when we watch trainers, you don't know what they're working on, so it's hard to judge them. So, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I judge my clients that come from other trainers. Now, I do that. So you other trainers, please do well, footwork, so on, so they can represent your training well. You can feel good. Because I tell clients when they come in and they look sharp and they look good, hey, that person's doing a great job. Stick with them, because it's nothing like building consistency, because we're all creatures of habit. So if I'm consistently doing that right, left, and left, right thing all the time, I'm going to pretty much do that everywhere I go.
So Bowie State, what made you go there Right.
I had no other options. We ain't gotta talk about. We ain't gotta do the swag. So as we, I'm a bit all over the place, but it'll all come together. I've been doing music the entire time. So in high school, I was we were in a band. Band was called High Degree. We were on a CD called Standing Room Only. We opened up a junkyard, Northeast, backyard, like 15, 16 years old. So I was doing that, dealing with the ladies too. And I had a ball in my hand, but not like to the extent of what I should. God just really blessed me with winning the state championship. Was I one of the best shooters in the county? No question. No question. I've been doing that since I was 9, 10 years old, been one of the best shooters. I did Elks hoop shoot. I was in the region championship for that.
Okay.
23 out of 25 from the free throw line and things like that. Gary Williams, I got all his trophies, one-on-one hop shot. I feel like I'm like top 5 in history at Gary Williams camp. Shout out Gary Williams. and my man Wade L. So it's high school was just a great time for me. But I didn't understand who I really could be. Because I thought what we talked about, I had a lot of people pat me on my back like, Shy, you can shoot, you can do this and that. I was just like, I thought I had it mastered. Didn't understand what you needed to do. But as you know, being a Cancer, we can do several different things. Mm-hmm. So I just started like trying to be the smorgasbord guy. I'm gonna do this over here. I'm gonna do a little bit of that, do a little bit of this, and it hurt me. Mm-hmm. So once I realized that I got to Bowie, I was like, I kind of was very fortunate, but I looked around like, oh snap, because I was just in my own bubble. It was no internet at the time, so I felt that we won the state championship. So I got to be one of the top 50. It's 50 states. Only the state champions got the best players. I'm one of the top players. That's what I mean, mind over matter. And my game really went up from that. I felt the growth, and it wasn't anything but my mind and belief. So I went to Bowie. I ended up having my son, kind of like dropped out of school a little bit, but I was still around the program. I was on a committee to pick the new coach at Bowie. We got Luke D'Alessio, and that was one of the greatest things that I had happen to my career. He also helped me get overseas, and I played overseas too, in Oschersleben, and Ansbach. Right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Average 30 in and it was just tough at that time for Division II guys to move around. Just in Europe, didn't understand at the time that Division II was just about a test score, not the level of play. The level of play, but not the ability of the athlete to be able to come and play on the next level. So 3.5-year career overseas was great, but came back and had been coaching at the camps and 5-star, Eastern Invitational, Duke, North Carolina, Maryland camp. Did some stuff with Gannon Baker at, down in the Outer Banks.
Crazy, all that filming, he was filming back then. Oh
my goodness. Gannon Baker, one of the best to do it. But like I said, I've just been doing it a long time. Once I was a coach, when I went to Bowie, that really helped me grow as a player too. So you got to see in the summertime, you're telling players to run back, and they don't run, and you're like, oh, this is what coach are you talking about? Swing it one more, and they don't swing. You kind of get it helped me build my IQ on how to be more to build more continuity with my teammates. And we had the first winning season ever in Bowie State history at Bowie. So.
Talk about like your best and worst game.
At Bowie, I got a couple of those. We played in a Christmas tournament. Delonte Hill was my point guard, White Chocolate, Arnett Young.
I had some dudes.
Who am I missing before they get angry with me? Yeah, that year. We played an IUP. It's a Christmas tournament. We got the guys, I think, Chocolate, y'all know he's a shooter. He shot a couple ill-advised shots. Delonte came to me and was like, if I pass you the ball and you don't shoot it, I'm not passing it to you anymore. And I was like, oh, well.
I've told him that before.
And I made 10 threes. It was a good game. I might have been like 10 for 12. I got on fire. That was one of my good games. I hit a game winner, which was one of the that ended up making the front page of the Washington Post. I made the game winning shot against Livingstone. Game was tied. The guy actually made a three on me to tie the game first, and I fouled him. I look at my point guard as Eric Elston. This one I was playing with James Rice. In 2000 season.
Okay.
I just looked at my point guard really hard in the eyes, and he kind of already knew. I ran down, I came out, I got it, got the ball at the wing. We had been working on step back all year. This is what started bringing it out for me. Worked on step back all year with Jake Morton. The guy cut me off. I stepped back. I swear to goodness, like the time stopped. That's when I knew I was going to make it. It was like the movies. I swear. It was like I shot the ball went up, and it said, I promise you it did. I swear to goodness. I told this story like a rack of times. And the ball went in. I kind of faded back. We hit the shot. We won. And that started like that. That stoked my fire. There is greatness here. Another time we played against the great Ronald Flip Murray. I had one of my better games against him, about 22, 23 points in the second half. We beat them by 17. I think Ronald Murray, I think I defended you the best in the CI out of everybody. He kind of had struggle nights against us. When I played one game, I didn't play, and they beat us. The next game when I played, we beat them by 17. So I love you, Ronald. You got the money. Let me hold some.
So you mentioned you played, was playing overseas in Greece. Mm-hmm. So how was that? Germany. So how was that? Because you had your son early. Mm-hmm. So how was that family dynamic trying to balance that being overseas?
Well, me and his mom were not together, but we did a great job co-parenting. So she was very understanding to let me carry out my situation and my chances to try to get some more money for us. And that's just kind of how it worked. But like I said, it was kind of difficult to get contracts. I was playing well, but I did most of my agent work, and it just wasn't as attractive to get Division II players as it is now.
You did your agent
I did my own. I did all my negotiating with the teams. And
when you first got over there, how'd you do that?
I mean, my coach plugged me, and I just talked to them.
Okay.
So when I got there, one of the things that I know I told a couple of my buddies that were still interested in playing, if you know Remy that's over there and he know he's going, get a plane ticket and just go with him and then go and try out. It's much easier to get on the train and go try out for 9 different teams. You're American, they'll definitely let you come in and practice with the team. If you practice well, they definitely gonna say, hey, can you talk to us over here for 1 second? Because I don't have to spend, with the American player, why it's difficult to get the opportunity is because I got to spend $2,000 to get you over here, $1,500 to get you over here. And if I don't like you, then I got to spend another $700 to get you back, along with the meals. And so it's about $4,000 opportunity. If you're in country already, it's not a risk. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to visit my buddy, and they playing open gym. Let me get in here.
No, just coach. Let me practice with you. Like, you need an extra body. Let me just get in there. I'm gonna do the drills. I'm gonna do this, and that. I'm gonna go, and they're gonna be looking when you're dunking and when you're shooting your three. They're looking like, wait a minute, where'd you say you played that again? Yeah. Let's talk about what you're looking for as far as numbers. And these are some of the things that I was given as far as advice. But my buddies, we played D2. Like I said, it wasn't as attractive at that time. A lot of my guys were working jobs. So I didn't have that opportunity to do it as much. But of course, I came home, played in the ABA and things like that, and was doing my training and things like that. 2007 with the training business is when I really was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this like the great Keith Williams. He's had some great success and was able to make a living training players. And he told me I had something. Hanif also, like, I thought they were being really disrespectful to me at first. Like, you trying to say I can't play? Nah. So they didn't really explain it to me. But they mentioned it to me, and I waited 2 years too long. I'd be in a total different situation. So, yeah.
So was there ever a time that you fell out of love with the game?
Oh yeah. I had an artist, my man, and this was around that time when I started doing the training, um, like 2007. I just was doing the music thing. Keith Williams kind of tricked me to. He was like, "Nah, can you go and train these kids for me?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, now, Shad, I got $500 for you for 2 days, like just for a couple hours, Shad." And I was like, "You know what? Okay, all right, I'll do it." Um, and the parents asked me the first day, like, "Shad, can you stay?" I was in shape. I did every drill. I was dunking. I was doing all the stuff. And kids respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was like, you know what? You're right. It's nothing but a couple of hours. I can do it. And then that just started it from there. And that was with Taj, and they were called Hoop Dreams at the time. And then that spawned into New World. So I was there on the foundational periods of New World. Yep.
So, like, when you was overseas or was there ever a time when you was just like, man, I'm sick of basketball?
Nah, I think that's the positive thing about not working as hard in high school. I wasn't really burnt out with trying so hard and then going to Bowie. I was like excited, like I'm gonna prove to everybody. You know what? You say hard work pay off, right? It does. So to the players, again, hard work does pay off, but timing is a very important piece to life. You must do it at the right time. You must take heed at the right time, and understand the feeling of where it's pulling you, and try to have some foresight. A lot of people can't kind of see out, a couple years ahead and a couple months ahead, but try to do that. Try to set yourself up the proper way. Because if you don't, you're like Shy. You're gonna be gym to gym. You're gonna be moving, working hard, and you'd rather be working smarter than harder. But I enjoy working hard.
But that's really good. But it's like how you pinpoint when that time is, and when it's like, you know what, this is the time where I need to step it up or just step through that door and not be timid or just
Indecisive.
yeah.
Man, I always say, man, I can't say that back in the day, but man, I pray
Yep.
pray for discernment.
That's it. That's it.
Pray for discernment.
I've talked to too many people that are successful in areas that I want to be, and guess what? They don't give me any answer for real. It should be exactly what he said. God, when He says yeah, that's when it's going to happen. That's when it be happening. All that necessarily setting it up, you're setting yourself up to be an example for someone else, but you never know when it's going to be. That's just from all the information that I've gotten from music, from basketball, from actors, from people that are married for 40 years, through their successes that they've had outside of the relationship. It's just like you don't know when it's going to happen. You just got to kind of like just keep working. So that's the difficult part. I'm at a space in the training piece to give you some personal space in my head right now. Like that's where I'm at. It's just too many people doing training. So it's hard to decipher to the client who should I really be investing with or trusting them with my child. Um, that's the one thing about life. It's no rewind button, really.
Yeah.
That's why reclassing is really so popular, because that's the one space in a child's situation that you can do a little rewind button one time. So
So I heard you talk about, you said y'all was working on a step back, right?
mm-hmm.
So one thing we always ask, we always want to know, like, what is your go-to move? So if 10 seconds on the clock, you got the ball, trying to win the game, what's your go-to
All right, so Ricky's thinking about bringing the coalition back, so I'm a little nervous to say, because we are we are one of the inaugural champions, Friendly High School. RIP to SpongeBob, and
yeah, for sure.
so. But to step back, Footwork J, I got a couple signatures. West Side, I got a couple signatures, but yeah, that's
break it down. You want to break it down?
I will break it down. I'll break it down. I'll break it down in stages. College, after I did the step back, that was my sophomore year. It was like that was my go-to move. I could do it in one dribble. I could do it in two dribbles. I could do it in three dribbles. Spacing is the biggest.
Right,
I could do both ways. But left was like my favorite. Then when I met Keith Williams, gave me the footwork J, which is the hezzy pull. That's what KD be doing. He actually showed me before Kevin Durant. I was upset that he gave my move away, but now that I understand I'm a trainer, he just was trying to use somebody to see if I can give this to someone greater, and they can. And Kevin, wow.
Right.
I mean, definitely shout out to Kevin Durant. I give him a hard time about a lot of things sometimes, but he's the best basketball player from around here that we've seen. And he is truly amazing with his shot making ability. And I'm a shooter, and I don't really give many people credit. So him and Steph Curry, wow.
Yeah.
Question again? Would you?
The go-to move.
Yeah. So footwork J, and then after that, I kind of added that west side. I've been doing that west side. That cross this way before. All the NBA players are doing it, but I'm gonna give them some big kudos right here. You got to clip this in. Darren McClinton actually showed me the West Side, like in 1997, 98. But he didn't do it much. Well, you cross from left to right, but your body is going back left. So he showed me that. But I used to do it behind the back. So he did it to the front. So I was like, yeah, I got to be a little different. But he wasn't doing it that much.
So when you came back, was it 1-2 or you hop stepped and kept your balance?
I was doing it both ways, but the balance, I want to keep it consistent with the footwork. Mm-hmm. So it's still like try to be inside foot step in. If you catch up, then and I'm trying to do the footwork, then I just go to something different. I just count on that.
Yeah, okay.
That's
a good one then. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Okay. So you always say that. I always watch your clips. West Side, I'm like, what is he talking about?
Okay. Yeah, now when he said that, I remember the move now.
Yeah.
Playing up number 10 and going to,
So, real quick, I'm going to get into my next question. But when we ran into, we said this off camera, but I ran into Shy down number 10, and we started playing ones. I think it might have been like 2-3 dribbles or something. And when y'all hear me, like all my guys, y'all see me, I always break down before we even get into any type of shooting. We go left, right, left, dribble, left, dribble, right, left, like fundos. And I will drill y'all to death about that, right? Before we even get into anything, it's probably like, damn, how many joints we gonna shoot right at the rim, like until I feel you good. Mm-hmm. This who I got that from. You know what I mean? And we was playing ones, and I was strong, pretty athletic, but Shy just kept getting this shot off on me, and I was really agitated. You know what I mean? And then after it was done, Shy explained some stuff to me about my footwork, and then I incorporated it in my game. So when I tell y'all he's a purist, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He was able to break. He didn't even know me. And he was able to break that piece down, and then I took that and ran with it. You know what I mean? But this was the guy who showed me that.
No, I appreciate that compliment. Again, it's just about working hard and trying to be the best that I could be. Maybe not like somebody else, because I wanted to be like Michael Jordan. That's why I had some of the determination, maybe some of the moves and things like that. But I just started to realize, like, damn, I can't jump. I'm not tall. I could palm the ball. I could do all of that type of stuff. But I couldn't do the rest. So I had to figure out, okay, now I can get my mind and my emotions together about it. Let me just be the best that I can be. Mm-hmm. Let me just do the best that I can do as many times in a row. And that'll probably take me to the next level, which you did.
Yeah.
So you talked about how you got into training, right? Mm-hmm. You've been training for what, since 2007?
For my job, yeah. But I've been, like you said at that time, I've always been helping people. Yeah. So I've been doing coaches, camps and things like that.
20 plus years.
Since 99, yeah.
So how much has changed in the training world since back then to now?
It's a lot of hanger-ons to the game and posers to say that I'm on a certain level. I think the important piece to anything is don't shortcut. Even when you have early success, if you shortcut it, then there will be a collapse. So I just see a lot more people just trying to shortcut it. And that means, not taking younger players, learning players and their tendencies on what they will do. They're just taking kids that are pretty good and just trying to attach themselves to a situation. And sometimes that's important. You never know what part of someone's journey that you're going to play. But it's just too many people that's saying that they're elite trainers or they do this and that on young people's career. So
And
that's just
I was gonna say, and what you're saying, in my eyes, like players got a small window to make it,
yep.
right? And like I'm not like unless you just like a KD or somebody, you gonna need stuff to go right
Yes.
in order for you to get to that point.
Yes.
And like we spend a lot of time as trainers, you know what I mean? Of you can mess up somebody's flow if you, like you say, you got the say hand me downs or what
Hanger-ons.
right? And then all of a sudden, then you gotta fix whatever the hanger on might have messed up, and that might set the kid back.
So what this does is, um, someone may say it's okay to hop, and they may have had a better career than Shivers was deemed as that.
Mhm.
And then the kid starts to believe that. Then they have to go through the in-game or getting cut failure piece to realize, damn, Shaw was right, but it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that happen too much where I push guys and kind of, it's like, oh, Shy, you yelling and you trying to make us run fast and everybody else don't make us run fast. And then I look like the bad guy. And then they get to the next level and they're like, oh shit, everybody's running fast. Because that's the next level. The players that can move at a fast pace and can think and make great decisions moving fast. The best high school kids don't do that. So I think, you have to have people that understand the entire dynamic. You cannot just watch drills and think that you're going to be able to do what people have been doing that have expertise. It's a certain caveat that I have other people don't have. Even though they're doing the same drills, I'm going to get a different result. I'm going to squeeze the juice a different type of way, according to the player, not according to how I feel. So
it's so funny you say that because like I'm starting to film certain stuff, right?
Mhm.
And I get people that say, why you showing this? I'm just like, because they can't emulate the piece that you can't see. Like the intangibles of me stopping and saying, you're not doing this right.
Mhm.
Or just when you're in the game and you're in the paint, like when the defense collapse, you're not gonna be able to drag that a little bit further. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like those little intangibles,
Yep.
they mean more than you just looking at a video.
My caveat is different than other coaches. So some of the things that I may see, because obviously, I just look a little deeper. I'm a true trainer, so I'm always like watching. I'm always paying attention. Even when I don't mean to be paying attention, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to your body language when I say something to you. Just to note in my brain, like, oh, he didn't like that, or he did like that. So I can tuck things away, so I can just be a better trainer for my client. So to help you grow as much as we can.
That's a great philosophy, man.
Yeah, I love that point of it because a lot of people always just like, okay, I'm this trainer. I know what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do these moves, and but like you said, get to know the player and know what's best for them by knowing their skill set and how can I make this better instead of. And that's like with coaching too. I hate when coaches get players like, well, this is my offer, this is my philosophy, do what I want you to do, instead of like knowing what your abilities are and how I can incorporate within, what I'm saying? So it could be better instead of just go do this. Cause like
the best coaches do that.
Yeah.
They adjust to their team. What I have, if I have a certain type of offense that I run, but I don't have guys that actually can execute it, I'm putting myself at a disservice. If I have to just run 5 out, then we'll just run 5 out, and we'll make sure I make adjustments off that according to what I have. I just think that's the better way to coach.
Yeah.
It's more work for you as a coach if I'm used to doing, because we're creatures of habit. So now I'm used to call on doing this timing of the game. It's a certain field. So now I have to relearn again. And if people aren't comfortable with that, that's where the problem lies. That's where it's pushback, where I've noticed, like in all things, people push back because they don't really want to relearn anything. You know how a girl will say, I'm tired of dudes because I just don't want to. I already know him. You don't want to relearn a new dude.
Yeah.
I do understand
So
that.
So with the training, what's the difference, especially when you talked about the relearning piece of training adults and then you training like the youth?
my piece, I commented on someone's IG page about this. One of the popular guys, and it was like, "Well, you can't train kids like pros." I do. I train them that way, and again, but I pay attention to body language. I pay attention to, are they BSing or are they really saying, "Ah, coach, I can't do it." And you can tell I can tell the look in your eyes, like, okay, he can't do it. To when you like, I just don't feel like doing it. And I try to just test you out, see how far you're gonna let me take you. And if you're really pushed back, all right, we'll scale back because I probably took you further than you wanted to go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can scale back, and we'll just try to grow on that, and just try to stretch the rubber band a little bit further the next day. Um, and that's why I try to make sure my clients like do multiple sessions and things like that, so we can really be pushed. And basketball is an everyday thing. This is great for all the trainers. They're gonna want to hear this. If so many people playing basketball today, you must be training 3 to 5 times a week. Really, 4 to 6 times a week. That's just everybody's playing. Everybody's training and trying to give information. So in the past, those that trained had the advantage because people were just doing the normal stuff. The normal stuff is training now. So you have to find another piece to change your trajectory after the training. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. So definitely you have trained guys and prepared them for the draft.
mhm.
So tell us, um, give us a walkthrough about what you're doing to help them prepare and get ready for the draft.
The draft is about doing a series of drills where I think, the NBA is made up where they can take a look at athleticism, timing, some smarts, and what is your shot making ability about. So they have now allowed people to bring their trainers in so they can feel comfortable, so you can see, the maximum potential of what it possibly could be,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I just try to get guys to understand we're going to shoot a lot of shots. You must be in shape, so we're gonna overrun, and then you get with your great strength and conditioning coach, and have him create a plan, and then we look at it and see, okay, this player is a 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are some of the things that we need to be doing with this. Ones and twos, same thing, and may add some pool in there. Just different according to who I'm dealing with. I need you excited about the process. Some people, like I said, it becomes a little redundant. Um, but I'll say this to the players around here: it seems like we have a lot of professional players, but I don't see enough guys doing pre-draft prep with your trainers here. The only way we really gonna get pumped up is if we keep the talent here. We're raising y'all. The DMV has been the top area for Division I offers for the last 10 or 12 years. But not enough guys. Y'all keep going to Phoenix, and you keep going. And my bad to the guys that's getting the money out there, but we're raising y'all year after year after year. So that means obviously we know something here. So I just would like to see that piece for some of my players to just stay home. The agents that are coming after y'all, they work for y'all. So you can kind of tell them, hey, I'm comfortable here, or let's bring my guy out so he can watch what they're doing, and then we're going to pick that up here, and so on and so on. Because it's a lot of rides, a lot of gas, a lot of hot dogs and bananas we got to feed players, and t-shirts and shoes sometimes just won't do it.
It's crazy you say that. So we just had Myron Flowers on here, and Myron was just talking about how the kid ran a four. He does football
Mm-hmm.
more than basketball, but he said the kid runs a 4.43. Like, and then you go to these camps or whatever they are, and you run a four. You basically run a
Slower.
4.3.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't need them as much as you think you is.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally just stay with your folks.
Yeah.
And like one of my visions, I'm saying it out loud, how everybody goes to Miami, everybody goes to LA, like in the summertime. I'm like,
We'll
DC
be
is
talking about this off camera too, because we were very close in 2016 to doing something really major like that. But again, it's so many people in competition instead of, okay, we know who the top dudes are around here. Instead of everybody having a conversation and say, how can we be better? How can we be more visible to the rest of the world? Because we kind of like are the number one area as far as grassroots is concerned. No matter what company, we're in the championship or close to the championship every single time. So I just think we need to do a better job of coming together. We still want to compete against one another. I still bust Stanley ass and Remy ass. But at the same time, once we come outside the lines, let's be strategic. Let's be together. Let's have our EQ right. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Y'all know me out there. If guys that know me, they know what's going on.
So social media, of course, just has a enormous presence.
Mhm.
How do you think that social media kind of hurts or it helps the training culture and players today?
Well, again, it's an up and down. So early on, it was good because you were getting to see some top level athletes, some of the behind the scenes things that they do. Now everybody's showing the behind the scenes things, and the better players are not really showing what they do. I don't really show. I'll show you something basic. But again, I'm only doing that. I do love to share information. Any trainer that wants to know some things, I'm here. It's each one teach one with me. I'm a real teacher, purist. Um, but the guys have to I'm speaking to the other trainers, let's be more creative and not use social media as much. Use your results on what you're doing with the players and how that's translating to them getting better results where they need it to be. Not just, oh, I'm around these guys. Look, I'm with him. Because now in the DMV area, it's like nobody really stays with their trainer. So it's now just you just taking pictures with kids. Kids are just noticing, like, let me be over here, let me be over here, let me be over there. And then again, it's kind of making it. That's why I think the trainers need to come together. People need to have an understanding of what's going on and really make it real kennel where you can see what you got. We actually control the scene, but we don't do a great job with that. It's not enough. I don't know how we're not competing takeover and all these other groups, these great groups we have out here should be more playing against each other. The coaches maybe should play against each other so we can build a certain type of camaraderie so people can talk. And a lot of people probably have these same feelings, but you never know because we're not communicating. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that, oh, Shy, I think he like, no, I'm not, no, I don't. I'm very approachable.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm always approachable. It's just the thing. You may not like my response or what I'm gonna give you, but I mean, that's life. Life's not always going to give you everything that you want to give, but you can at least get your stuff off with Shy. Say, Shy, I think this, and I have an answer for when I speak. So it's no problem. I have some of these same thoughts too. So I just think if we do the whole thing and everybody just be a little bit more conscious to that. We got great people around here. We got Kurt Malone back. We got Keith Williams. We got Keith Stevens. Like, I'd like to see some more camaraderie there. They got enough juice in the whole region with those three people to do something extremely great. As far as like just continue to move our culture forward, it seems like it's like a little bit of a separation piece starting to happen. But that's the foresight in me. To say that.
Yeah, like you said, it definitely would be a great, like we could have a hub, like a kennel where like a facility where like everybody's coming here. This is where they come.
Or some type of event. I know everybody has their whole. We got Under Armour, we got Nike, we got Puma, we got Adidas. But sometimes we just got to step away from what they're doing and yeah, and we come over here and really bring the kids over here so we know what's going on. And then it just creates a solidarity within the area. So even you can look at some kids like you thought you was this, and we may even talk about you in a certain light, but we know who's what. You get a better understanding on what we're dealing with, and you can. I mean, we're still doing a good job of that. I just think it could be better.
Yeah. More unity.
Yeah.
So let's talk on the mental health part of it, right? Like, I think this is a thing that everybody has such an awareness for now. Versus back in the day, it was just
almost like it's an excuse now. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, right. So how do you help kids get out of that funk when they bring that and understand when we say this, if somebody's really dealing with something mental health wise, we understand, right? But when you're using it as a crutch for you not being able to perform, you know what I mean? Like there's a great area there, right? And we're talking about kids that decide to be like, I don't feel like going today, because the dog ate my homework. I don't know, just
Yeah,
something. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like how do you help them get out of those funks?
I try to talk to you and tell you that's the days when you're gonna get better.
Mm.
You're gonna get better on the days when you don't feel like doing it. But to speak to the mental health piece, where everybody talks about that now, I just think it's a thing where people are using that as a cover to say, "Hey, we mess up too." The internet has glamorized everything, so you gotta make it look good. Um, and mental health is about because you see so much good looking things on the phone that you're like, damn, I'm behind.
Mm.
It don't matter if I'm working hard or I'm behind. You can clearly see that because that's to your soul. The vision goes deep. You see that and you're like, you know the truth. And that damages you a little bit. And people, once you can look around, when I'm talking to other athletes and I can tell them about my failures, um, I think they come out of the funk like, all right, it happened to him because unfortunately people want to feel like, all right, it's not just me
Yeah.
dealing with this problem. Once you find out, okay, it's not just me dealing with this, you could then devise a plan in your mind like, all right, I'm gonna work or I'm gonna write down this or whatever their thing is to make them be able to resonate back to where they were or where they want to be.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely
They
agree with
never
that.
show failure. That's the part because that's just not attractive. So it seems like, all right, if I'm failing a little bit, then, but a lot of times we go back to the stoking the fire. I have to put you in a place of failure to get you to really turn your fire up. So it doesn't matter what you go through, you're just able to burn right through and just go where you're trying to go to.
Well, that was the Stoke, but
Yeah.
with Jordan, right?
Yeah.
It was he got cut from his high school
Well, he
team.
really didn't get cut, but they made the story up, made it good. But I get it. He wanted to make varsity. They cut him from varsity. He's averaging 40 on JV. No, everybody in town. My peoples are from Wilmington.
Okay.
Shout out Adolph Shab. Um, and everybody was coming to see him play, and that's how he was a McDonald's All American out of high school. Too. Mike was just a hard worker. Talked to another buddy that went to North Carolina's camp at the time when he was there. He was his coach. He was so mad that Mike was his coach because he wanted the other guard, Black. I forgot his name. No, this is before my time, but at the same time, like he said, they were watching from afar. They said Michael Jordan had to dunk like 60 times. They didn't even know it was him. It was like they were sitting down here, and it was like way down there. And he just kept dunking, kept dunking. He said for like 40 minutes. He came over, he was sweating. It was him. So that hard work, it take a lot to dunk 40, 50 times, 60 times. You know what I'm saying? He said he was just doing it over and over. So all hearing those little small stories, um, like I said, it stokes the fire. It makes you be like, all right, if it happened to them and they did this, okay, I can do it. That's why it's so important to see solidarity in the area. Because I'm asking youngers to like let things go, but they watching adults be separated. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's a piece where we have to see certain things to be like, all right, that's okay to do.
And do what you do now, what you said, sure.
There you go.
So you kind of talked about improving training culture in the area, but like just overall, right? Like how, like, because training is getting this rep where everybody's it has a negative wave towards it right
For
now,
sure.
right? Like how would you improve? Like, what's your thoughts on trying to improve training culture? And I know it's going to be get squares out of the circle, but outside of that, you know what I mean?
Parents, that's the only way we're going to do it is that you be able to take a vigilant eye to who is really having an effect on your child. And is it in line with the direction that you're trying to go? That's what's going to do it. The parents are the answers every time. So I do this full time. So of course, I want to get paid. But I do it with a certain integrity. But sometimes people's integrity points are different, and they depend more on the kid. Where I remember my youth. I needed somebody to push me sometimes. I'm only gonna go so far. Like, damn, coach, I can't do it. And if he tell me like, all right, well, don't come back. All right, well, maybe I can do it. He told me don't come back. Maybe I was tripping. You right, coach. I can do that, and we need that accountability partner when we talk about these things. So I just need the parents to be a little bit more vigilant. I love the way the training business is now. It's a lot of people talk trash about me doing it 10 years ago because they didn't understand the dynamics or where you could get money from and so on and so on. So that piece is a little refreshing, but the fact that it's so many guys, like everybody is like, you know what? I'm a train, yeah.
Put these YouTube
Yeah,
clips up and learn these drills.
nah, but then that's the thing. People are thinking that that's how Shy got popular. Like, nah, Shy had the videos. No, it was I wasn't doing videos. I just was straight need my kids to have results. That's how you get on with this business. Um, there are hustle tactics like what we talked about. If our players in the DMV said, you know what, for the next 2 years, we're just going to try to train us at home and the guys that do strength and conditioning at home to get us ready for the draft. And you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference because if we do some of that here with those agents paying the dollars that they do to some of these other trainers, you would see the difference. You would see the creativity change.
Yeah.
You would see a different folks actually walking around out here. It will create a even more higher profile situation here in DC.
Resources create resources.
For sure.
Just keep that in mind. So, you know, talk about your son, right?
Amar just got a job. He just graduated, got a job at CNN. I'm so proud of him.
Good job, Amar. Good job.
Yeah. How do you keep the balance? Because you're in the gym a lot. You know what I mean? How do you keep that balance with your man?
Well, he was with me until he stopped playing when the pandemic hit, and he just was like, "Dad, I'm just ready to try to get my degree and try to do something." And I could do nothing but respect that. I just tried to show him instead of tell him and then sit around and be like, "No, it's your time." Now I'm showing him that the things that I'm speaking to him about, I'm still getting up tired. I'm still getting up early. I'm still, even though I'm not getting paid the money that I would like to get paid, I'm still moving like I'm getting paid, like the money I want to get paid. And just have that type of attitude and and the willingness to work. When things are good, when it's bad, dad around, dad not around, mama not around. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the only one to help me. So, he's a young man. So a lady can kind of be like, and somebody going to be like, what you need me to do? God do that. And they like, I don't know. You all right? I mean, it's tough for a guy. And so I try to put him in those situations early. How can you recover from this type of emotional letdown? And I tried to father like that. Me and mom, we weren't in the same household, so I couldn't be with him every day. I just couldn't be all lovey-dovey. It's tough out here. It's tough.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what's your thoughts about NIL?
I think it's a good thing. I think the universities and things like that, being that it's mostly African Americans that are playing the high-profile sports, it was kind of like they had too much leverage over the player with all the rules. And we understand now so much that academics are very good, but there are other avenues now. And this may be my timing to get my money right now. With NCAA making billions of dollars each year and then just putting so many restrictions on how players can get money. And I understood why, because the Blue Bloods were going to get all the kids and things like that. But as we see, the Blue Blood players are not that much better than the guys at Townsend. And maybe one or two guys that are NBA dudes, and you're right, like those guys are really difference maker, but for the most part, so even though the Blue Bloods are getting the guys that are supposed to be 5 stars, those 3 and 2 stars are able to compete with them just as well. So I like the NIL piece because the universities are getting paid when they're successful.
Yeah.
And when the kids ride around, so if Bowie State gets invited to NC State, they get $55,000 to come. Why shouldn't kids be able to sign something and be able to get paid, or stand in a commercial for a smoothie company? And then it just goes back to the parents on what you're teaching your kids at home about integrity, and that this time, and seeing so many players have $60 million and still be broke. So if you get $600,000 from NIL, it is life changing, but you still have to take some steps to be able to maintain and sustain what you're trying to do. Goes back into basketball. I mean, it's the same thing. The team sport aspect. We won a championship one year. Can I sustain the success of repeating, or at least competing at the same level that I was doing the year before? This shit be hard, So,
So man, let's switch topics, man. Let's talk about your music. Let's talk about your music, man. Tell the people what you got out right now. You got a music video out right now.
well, I got about 17 songs out. I'm on all platforms. My artist name is ShyRasheen, SHY_RASHEEN. That's on Instagram. Full name on the other ones. And like I said, I've been doing music for a very long time, and some people kind of like convinced me to like jump out here and shot. You never know what may happen. I mean, this stuff is really good. So
you have a performance.
I perform all the time. I'm down at U Street like on Tuesdays and Thursdays performing, or wherever the opportunity arises. So again, creatures of habit, same thing. It's just like wherever there's an opportunity for me to like show some talent, I try to do it, because you never know who's going to be there, or who knows. You think there's nobody in the crowd and somebody's nephew is there. So again, I'm just enjoying myself, doing what I think is natural. But more than anything, when you listen to the music, this is it's me. I'm not doing any really like embellishing, what's going on. I'm not doing the lovey-dovey singing right now. I'm kind of singing for the guys, because everybody else is singing lovey-dovey. Love the ladies for sure, but we need somebody for us. And I have a different sound, and it sounds good. So,
is there anybody that you would want to work with?
oh man.
I mean, you got hooks. It sounds like you're singing, so you
So
might
you want
got
me to give
some
me
hooks.
I mean, I've been talking about DMV. I talk about it a lot in my songs, just like they do in Memphis and Atlanta and all these other places. I would love to work with Wale. Love to work with Shaq Glizzy. Would love to work with Maya, Raheem Devon, um, Ari Lennox, Alex Vaughn. Those are some of our heavy hitters. But it's a host of other good, great talent that's out here.
Light show.
Light show, definitely light show. Definitely would love to do a song with him. So I let him hear some of my music like years ago, and he actually said to me, I was training his brother, and he said to me like, "Well, what? Why you ain't what you doing?" And I kind of was like, but I'm here now. He actually got to see me perform. He came down, did it on the low, came down. It wasn't for me, but he got a chance to see me do it, and I'm pleased with the song. The song called "Keep Me Going." Flex spent it on the radio. Quicksilver hasn't spent it yet, but he's heard it. Alizé spent it for me. He was the first one, like the first big DJ that spent it for me. Free Life music reviews, they play it for me like every day. So I've got a lot of confidence. I check my music out on all types of. What I mean by check it out is I make sure that like other people that I don't know are giving me feedback. I've done it in LA, Alabama, New York, Cyprus, the UK. And it's just been all green lights, which is refreshing for me.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's
Is
good.
there we producers? Any producers that you want to work with? I know we got a couple producers that we know, man. Maybe send some peace to my guy.
Yeah, I don't know the producers like that. That's the crazy thing around here, but we got some bangers. I mean, I'm working with Rich Shelton, aka Rich Nice. He's got a Grammy. He's got like a host. He did stuff with Maya, Raheem, Cisco, Drew Hill, K Michelle, Cardi B, to name a few. So I do my recording at with Boo Boo the producer at Power Broker Studio,
Okay.
and I get beats and stuff from him and my guy Ryan J. He's in the Philippines, so he reached out like the very first time I put out a song. He was like, "Yeah, I heard your song. I got some beats," and we have been like making jams. So I got like 3 guys that I use, and I just be trying to make it jump. I don't really do slow songs though, so it got to be a little boom bap.
Yeah, we definitely got a local guy here named Sean Minotti, man.
Okay.
Definitely great producer.
Yeah, let's link it.
Yeah, definitely link it. They be at the vault.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
actually did our intro.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that you know this game, but that's when my cousin did the hook, but the beat.
I'm always looking to learn, so this for me is like still very fresh and new. I have some ability and stuff like that, but I've had no training. I pretty much, I did the vocals and I understand arrangement and things like that naturally, but it's just about I'm just trying to learn, and I would love to get around some of the big wigs so I can add a little something to my tool belt.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So from the music, but what was like some of your influences? Like who are your favorite?
Erykah Badu, Andre 3000. I need the weird people. You know what I mean? Like what people look at them as weird. I love those guys. Andre 3000, Erykah Badu. Like I listen to them like all the time. Of course, Maxwell. Of course, Tyrese. Who am I missing? Usher. Like the real deal.
Yeah.
Official. I mean, I don't want to go too old on y'all. Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, I'm about to ask you what about the old school people?
Marvin Gaye. I like Prince, but I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson. Earth, Wind and Fire.
I don't know if maybe you saw it. I mean, a bunch of people probably saw it. So I saw Marvin Gaye when he did the national anthem.
Yeah.
And everybody always say Whitney did it the best, but for me, he did it his way.
Yeah.
And it sounded amazing. I was like, so for me, that was the best one that I saw. Like he put his own style and flair on it, and I was like, I said, man, that was different, but I loved it though. I loved it.
So crazy thing, I was working a camp. I forgot Artie's name, but he runs one-on-one basketball camp. And one of the coaches there came, he's an older guy, came up to me, he was like, "You know who you look like?" And I never get like the whole, "You look like somebody." I never get that. He was like, "You know who you look like? You look like Marvin Gaye." And I was like, no, I don't. Why would you say that? I don't look like, do I look like Marvin Gaye? And then somebody was like, "Nah." He brings the CD cover in and brings the hat and have me put it on. And when I put the hat on, I said, "Oh my goodness." I said, "Oh snap, maybe I do look like him." It's the smile that he had though. So it's been a lot of things. One of the other things I say about the music is like I've never had dreams like being in the NBA. It's always like been on the stage singing, stuff like that. That's been the weirdest thing.
That's awesome.
I didn't quite understand that. So it's not like I want to be a star. I'm just kind of like just doing. I'm just cranking. I like to do it, and I'm going to do it in a different way. This is the way that I'm gonna stand out, and it's working for me.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's
You know?
always good when you following that passion, something you love.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's calling you, and you can, you know what I'm saying? Like as we talked earlier about when you seize that moment,
Got it straight.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why I said it. I was like, all right, you know what, this time, you know what, let me just go ahead and you're always missing it because I had 2 guys that had been in the industry for a while saying the same thing and they don't talk. So one of them, they both came and said that, I think you could be a real big artist out of nowhere. So the first time Boo Boo did it, I got to tell this story. He did it to me. He said, Shy, I think you could be one of the biggest artists out here right now. Yeah, and I was just like, bro, I'm going to record here. You don't have to tell me that. I'm gonna come and record regardless because I want to listen to it in the car. And he got so pissed with me, like, Shy, you train basketball players, and you don't just tell people bullshit, do you? And I was like, nah. He was like, so why do I need to tell you that? And I was like, I still kind of didn't believe it. I was just like, all right, okay. And my buddy who's got the Grammy and all that, he's like, all right, Shy, I've been listening to your music, Shy. Like, you have something that nobody has, Shy. You know, that's a recipe for to be a big artist. And I just was looking like, okay, because I'm trusting what they say. They've seasoned, they've been in the game, you've seen a lot. So I'm like, all right, that's why I did not go and like do my checks on hit songs. They're different. And you think about people when they get a hit, it's a different feel. Kendrick has a different feel. Drake had a different feel. Um, you name what's my man? Ooh, what's my man? He got a different feel. What's my Sauce Walker? Sauce Walker has a different feel. Rick Ross had a different feel.
Yeah, Dipset
So
had a different feel when they
Dipset had a
came
different
out.
feel. So it's so important to be different, but at the same time, a vibe. So that's the.
Though.
That's not as well. I just said the boy name.
Yeah,
Sauce Walker.
Yeah.
That's his little one of his little monikers. Ooh-wee. I like that joke though. I would love to work with you, Sauce, if you see this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just about bigging up our people, bigging up our community. We got to clean it up a little bit. Everything is not to die for. Everything is not to shoot over.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and once we understand that, sometimes whooping ass is still necessary, but not to be the all, the over, the shoot to get the blicks out. It's not. It's not. So some of those energies is what I'm gonna be using my success in basketball and the music piece to bring some solidarity within the communities. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
You know, we definitely wishing you continued success.
No, for sure. Everybody just go and check it out and then repost the joint or make a video with it. There is something that you guys will like. I've got enough music out there. If you don't have the other platforms, everything's on YouTube. And I'm actually about to drop some more music in a few years. So
Cool.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to tune in for sure.
keep me going.
So look, man, we play this game called either or at the end.
Okay.
Right? You gotta pick one or the other. You can say both.
Where the drinks at? We don't got a shot.
We gotta put that.
we gonna figure it out. We gonna
We've been saying it for 15 episodes. Ain't done shit yet, but we'll get it.
We'll get there.
Alright.
do push-ups or something.
Maybe something like that. Keep it clean, I guess.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Or Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael Jackson.
Okay. Usher or Maxwell.
Woo! That's a tough one for me. Usher's hot right now, so let's give Maxwell some love. He just came here with that Tiny Desk. Oh my goodness, did y'all see that?
Ooh,
Shout out to Maxwell.
Oh, Maxwell did a
oh
Tiny
my
Desk?
goodness.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Fire.
Yeah, Maxwell.
He's just so controlled with what he do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
super seasoned with it.
yeah.
Okay. Freddie Jackson or Marvin Gaye.
I gotta go Marvin.
Okay. Erykah Badu or Maya.
Maya's a hottie. So is Erykah Badu. I just mess with Erykah's music a little bit. I mean, she inspired the whole Shy thing. Like I could sing that Mama's Gonna album. Those that went to Bowie State that were in the gravel with me in my vehicle listening to that song, those songs, I put a lot of people on that had no clue about Erykah Badu. Mama's Gun album was one of the greatest albums ever made.
Okay.
From top to bottom, like. Yeah. When I see you, Erykah Badu, I'm just gonna bust out and sing one of her songs, like straight up. Like I'm already ready for that. I missed her at Bowie State. She came to Bowie State. I was there. She just walked right past too fast. So.
All right. Well, we hope that happens. We got Common or Andre 3000.
I'm gonna go 3 stacks.
Okay, Andre 3 Stacks or Nas.
Nah. I'm gonna go 3 stacks again.
Okay, all right. So you agree? Okay.
Yeah.
I had to see where you was at.
Yeah, nah. Nas is official. It's just, the hate-love relationship with New York and DC and how we kind of gravitate to the South.
Yeah.
And that just hit a little bit harder for me.
Understood. All right, let's get into some hoops.
Yeah.
Ant Edwards or John Morant?
I gotta go with Ant.
Okay. Shy or Luka?
I gotta go with Shy. Luka plays no defense, it seems.
Okay, all right. Dr. J or the Iceman?
Let's go with the Iceman.
Okay, all right. Paul Pierce or Dwayne Wade?
I gotta go with D Wade. Got more championships only because of that.
Okay. All right.
But Paul Pierce, I mean, P squared was
The
a
truth.
problem. He's an example of confidence. I don't think the body never really looked really sweet, but his confidence is just up. And I mean, yeah, like I'm that, whether you like it or not. And he's the one I think had the. Nah, I can't do it. Anyway, we'll talk about that off camera. Anyway, go ahead.
Jokic or Embiid?
Embiid.
Okay. Ray Allen, Klay Thompson.
It just depends on what you need, but I'm gonna go with the light skinned brother because he's just more current. He did things a little bit more explosive as far as like, when he had the 70 points and he only dribbled 11 times and all of that.
Okay.
But Ray Allen definitely went off the dribble and was more of a one-on-one and more of a lead player than him. So
people forget that about Ray.
Yeah.
He did whatever he wanted. He went him and Allen Iverson went head to head, UConn and Georgetown. People don't, Ray Allen was getting the best of that. So
Vince Carter or T-Mac?
T-Mac's a little bit better defensively. So that's T-Mac the nod.
Steph Curry or AI?
Steph Curry.
Okay.
Sorry, AI. I mean, AI is like 5'11" though. So that's the thing about him, what makes him so unreal. Like, he's unreal in his own right. Like, you can't really compare. But Steph Curry, like, does he have a computer in his arm? I mean, does he? I'm a shooter. I was fifth in the nation 3-point percentage, led my conference 2 years in a row. I shoot the ball. Like, how he's doing what he's doing is like at that size is crazy.
The consistency.
Kevin Durant can do the same thing, but he's 6'11", so the trajectory of the ball doesn't have to. It's the me, but I'm 6'3". These dudes on me push. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Kobe or Bron?
LBJ.
Okay.
He does more with less. Kobe's more skilled, no question. But I mean, you just can't stop LeBron. You just can't stop him. He's showing it evident right now. He's 40 years old, and I'm still getting 25, 26 points a game. Nobody in the history of the game has done that.
MJ ain't do that?
No.
When he was with us?
Nah.
No?
I think he averaged like
23. I'm just saying, it's not 25. And Mike was sitting out. LeBron is still playing all the time. No, I watched the game the other day. This is when I knew Mike was just, we're just in a different time. But I watched him play T-Mac. The Wizards play T-Mac. T-Mac just ran by him. Mike didn't even try to run. T-Mac was like, and then took off running. Mike tried to take off, and he was like, all right, let me just let him go. LeBron is not doing that. Who's the best in the game? LeBron James is the best. I mean, Michael Jordan is the best of all time, in my opinion. Scoring titles and the defensive player, the defensive awards. I mean, that's a complete game, so it's not a question. But I told people this 13, 14 years ago. LeBron James is the closest thing to Michael Jordan that we're seeing. Mike, they say, couldn't dribble as well. That was LeBron. He was more athletic than people, and that's LeBron. Can't really shoot that well, but figures out how to make shots. That was LeBron.
It's crazy. I've never heard somebody say that.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never heard somebody say how that background when MJ was coming up and how LeBron, like, it makes sense, but I've never heard nobody say it.
Mike was the best athlete in the league. LeBron was the best athlete in the league. Does it have to exactly match up? Not really, but the closest phenomenon in basketball that we're seeing is Mike, Dr. J, then Mike, then LeBron. Now we got Zion. Zion's just not working. He's just not working hard.
You think the young boy Wemby is going to be there? Well, who's next in your eyes? And is the next. If he doesn't get too swaggy, if he's like, nah, I'm really about to go for these records, can't nobody really do nothing with him. His torque is just too official. He shoots the ball really well. The technique on the shot is really good. It's just a matter of, are you going to get caught up in being an entertainer, or are you going to be
that dude.
Okay.
And I think that's the only thing, because he got the great smile too. They on him. They good looking guy, the whole nine. Can he block out the white noise? Can you say I can just access y'all when I need y'all? Or do I gotta be like, no, I gotta be the homie. I gotta be in the joint and be real and all that. When you at that level, it ain't no real. I gotta be straight focused on being one of the best in history. And I get with y'all when I can.
Yeah.
If he does that, nobody gonna be able to deal with him. It's gonna be hard to deal with him next season.
All right. Last one. Well, I got two more. I just want to pop in my head. Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown?
Jalen Brown.
Okay.
Tatum shoots too many jump shots. Again, I'm a jump shooter. It just seems like for some reason he goes dark a little bit when it gets tough. When people really like, I'm about to clamp in, he don't understand and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna back you down or something. He still will be like, nah, I'm a mix. I'm gonna do something and do the sidestep. So I just think he needs to really less is better for him.
Yeah.
Make this note. Look, Dirk Nowitzki, when he finally won the championship, is when he went to the elbow and did the post up. Kevin Durant had that same successful situation in OKC when he started posting up at the elbow. He needs to start doing that. That's what he needs to do now. We've already established that you could play, but how many times can I make this shot in a row? You can make 7 threes in a row. You definitely can make this 15 times. So just shortening the game, being a little bit smarter with where you're going to attack from, and then you can give a better effort on defense. Can he play defense? Yes. Does he play defense? To me, not really. So Brown gets that edge because of that.
Okay. I think you already answered the last one. I was going to ask you MJ or Brown.
Michael
Okay.
Jordan. Plus, he's from my mother's hometown. My cousin used to be with him, but Mike's not a bad selection, I don't think. 37 a game 1 year, MVP, defensive player of the year.
The GOAT.
Yeah, it's rough to deal with it. And for all those at home, if he doesn't retire, he probably would get 10,000 more points on top of what we have right now. Because he was doing a clip of 2,500 points a year anyway. So.
You retired twice.
Yes. So.
All right, so that definitely wraps up the interview. And at the end, we always ask if you want to give any more advice. You want to give some advice. You gave so much juice, man. I swear it was a great interview. You want to give some more advice to the viewers, to the hoopers coming up, the next generation, to the parents. You have the floor.
Number one, which is a real thing, we're in a time of people are very unsure about God. Put God first. Talk to him a lot. And give it all you got. If you do those things, even when people are not supporting him, people aren't supporting my music per se right now. Like, I think it should be, people don't post, they do it sometimes. It's not really like how they would do these other people that they kind of don't know. And I totally get it. But God is elevating me. I just been asking him to put me in the right position. Give me some wisdom. Well, give me the wisdom, or just do it. Either one. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I'm trusting that, and it does get difficult. So during those times, you just gotta trust in that, and just know that trouble don't last always, and go hard after it. With the music, I'm having success, y'all, because I'm going hard after it. Yeah, those that know me, as we just talked for the whole hour, like about working hard, it's just no secret when it comes to that. It's who's willing to work harder, who's willing to lose a little bit of sleep, who's willing to like feel tired and still go after it. That was going to make the difference for you. Whatever you're choosing, IT, making your own business, doing a podcast, being a basketball player, football player, whatever you have your mindset on, that's just no lie.
Man, we appreciate you coming in. Hanging.
No, sir.
Man. This was definitely a great episode, y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, share. Make sure y'all follow Shy on Instagram. We're gonna put his tag on there as well. Make sure y'all follow his music. And obviously, if you're a ball player, definitely somebody you wanna holler at. Even a trainer, definitely somebody you wanna holler at. All right. But that's a wrap till next week.
Stay game related.